Hope you don't mind. These are 2 videos. I know I'm just kind of reading to you, but it's a very interesting book. I don't know if you'll ever find it. Um, it was at my library. Let me show you. So I don't know, but okay. So unless when I was saying, the sociobiologist looks for hard, irreducible objects that he can manipulate, but Heisenberg has said that the universe is made out of music, not matter, and so when a biologist sees processes and participates with them in a performance of descriptions, consciousness is participating with cognition in what Maturana and Varela would call the realization of the living, or what Gregory Bateson liked to call mind. And going back even further, beyond Gregory's work, we can relate these ideas of cognitive biology to the philosophy of organism and the work of Whitehead. So I really like this. It's old, but these people are still around. The theories are still gaining ground. I think we're going to see more of this. And to kind of, I guess, wrap this all up in Gaia, I'm not going to read anymore. I really appreciate the idea that science shifts and is shifted by culture, and often enough, science becomes a mythology and a way of interpreting the world that isn't necessarily objective, but actually kind of gets contaminated. Not even contaminated. It appears to be contaminated, but it just naturally is influenced by, a particular worldview. If we're in an industrial society, for instance, earlier in the book, he was saying Freud spoke of repression as if the mind was a steam engine with pistols and all this stuff. And modern scientists speak of the brain as circuitry and electronics. So we always try to find a way to legitimize according to what we consider, technological. Science is a technological mythos that interprets the world through that lens. And I wouldn't call it objective. I would definitely call it able to some degree, to manipulate reality. But obviously, there's developing, on a planetary scale now. We're beginning to think, interestingly enough, in terms of ecology. And Thompson made a very interesting analogy where he said that science, up until recently, has been dealing with, the objectification of reality, which is more of a physics idea, particles and, Newtonian physics, that still influences science. But as we shift from a industrial civilization to a planetary civilization, he hopes and he sees that we are becoming, shifting from the physics of Newtonian physical mythos, so to speak, to a ecological, biological mythos, one of relation and dynamics and ecosystems, because that's the only way we're going to survive. And in another one of his books, he also mentioned, interestingly enough, as more women scientists come into the picture, there have begun to emerge more relational descriptions of nature, more bottom-up, more cooperative models of evolution that aren't as cutthroat as neo-Darwinism. So we're really seeing a big shift. And just because, people on the internet and even, the popular cultural, I don't know, spokespersons for science, behind closed doors, there's a lot of debate and argument going on, and there's a lot of possibilities. And to kind of just believe it, I mean, some people have good reason to believe it, and that's where the debate comes in, but to shrug it off, like, it doesn't, like, how could you believe this? This crap. There are scientists who believe this stuff and have developed theories about this stuff, and if we live long enough, I hope to see the reputation of these scientists and these theories to skyrocket. At any rate, I guess better get going. My alarm is going off. I'm gonna go get a haircut. Anyway, man, thanks for your videos, and thanks for listening.